Good morning. I'm Dr. Hung Bui, and this is Dr. Rose Bui. Today we have the pleasure to have our friend coming over, Sergey and Renee. And we are going to have a friendly talk about what CaoDai is. So to start the session, I would like to ask somebody first.
Ladies go first.
Okay. Renee, you
Yes.
want to tell us something about yourself, why you are here, and what would be the question about CaoDai?
Well, as you know, I met you guys at the Compassionate Cities meeting, and for whatever reason we just connected and we very comfortable with you. And so you had told me about your faith, and I was extremely interested. And so a couple days prior to me coming, I was doing a meditation and I had a vision of a third eye, a big eye, and I just figured, oh, okay, that must be my third eye. Well, when I came that Sunday and I was looking at all the pictures that you have downstairs, and I saw the eye of CaoDai, and I think I asked you, I said, what does that represent? And you're like, that's our symbol. And so I was like, okay, this is where I'm meant to be. So
Very good.
obviously it was an affirmation for me that I'm in the right place.
I'm very glad that you find the eye that you saw in your meditation.
Yeah.
How about Sergey?
Well, I think my case is kind of similar. I was basically looking, just Googling, trying to figure out. I had also had participated in a group meditation. I had an interesting experience, and I tried to figure out what it means. And I found the website of CaoDai, and I looked at the contact information. Turns out that Hum and Hong, they live 10 minutes from me, like in the same town. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And so I wrote to them, and we met, and it turned out that we have a lot in common, and so I guess that's how we became friends.
I think we have a divine arrangement for us to meet each other. And the way you're feeling the relationship between us, I feel like that we have the energy of God in ourselves, and that energy attracts to each other, and we are here together.
Yeah, both Sergey and Renee are very spiritual, and Sergey read a lot of books about spirituality, and right now he's writing songs, and his songs revolve around oneness.
Thank you for that advertisement.
Which bring to what CaoDai thought. CaoDai say essentially, I am you, my children, and children, you are me. And that's the basic teaching of CaoDai, which extend to all of us as we're receiving, all of us as part of the divine in ourselves. And that's part of the oneness. And that's part of the divine is also seen in the universe, not just human being. And having that spark of the divine in us is a very encouraging knowledge, because that means that we can connect to our sublime origin by finding that divine essence that we have in ourselves, that is also called Christ in you in Christianity, or Buddha nature in Buddhism, or Atman in Hinduism, and so on.
Well, and that was another thing that I loved about CaoDai, is that it's not, you guys do not teach, oh, we're the only right ones. It's open to all religions, and every religion has a little piece of truth to it, which comes down to love. you know.
Indeed, the point in Cao Dai is all religions are one, and the different prophet, different master, no other than the incarnation of God's Spirit, and they teach the same truth, and that truth is later on interpreted differently by different persons.
Right.
But initially, religions are just one, and everyone's coming from the Supreme Being, the Divine Spirit, which we believe is very difficult to express as a kind of energy that we cannot see.
Yeah.
And that energy can create everything in the universe, from the universe, the moon, the star, the sun, to everything on earth, including from material to plants, animal, and human beings. And everything in the universe has the sparkle of God's Spirit in there. And that's explained the life of plant, of animal, and of human being.
That was the other thing I really liked about the CaoDai, is that you represent, you see the divine in every living creature. And coincidentally, I had just started to go vegan, and so I was like, oh my gosh, there's just another side. So.
I could say that I think my favorite quote, I mean, I actually, after just learning about after visiting the website, I bought a book. It was even before we met, and a book by Dr. Hume. The first phrase in the book says, correct me if I'm not saying it right, CaoDai without being CaoDai is the true CaoDai.
Correct.
Which I really liked, because it really means that, the divine essence, that's my interpretation. Divine essence is where you actually get rid of all the superficial, the exterior, the names, and the meanings we assign, and that's where the true essence is. And I think it's very humble if there is a religion that has it as one of the defining statements. I think it's a good start.
I like that one too, because in the spiritual plane, we don't have the word Cao Dai. And Cao Dai, the word Cao Dai exists only in Vietnam.
Right.
If it happened that the Supreme Being incarnate or gave the message to another country somewhere on the earth, for example, the Supreme Being by parachute and landed in Africa, and the truth would have a different name. So Cao Dai is not an absolute name of God. So if you keep being attached to that noun, that word Cao Dai is not the true Cao Dai, but it's supposed to be without being Cao Dai. It's the true Cao Dai.
It's also mean that you transcend from the ritual aspect of the religion itself. Because if we stick to the rituals, and the rituals are different from one phase to the other, and it makes you divide. But actually, if you transcend those rituals, you will meet at the spiritual plane.
So, the ritual is only important if it brings you closer to divine.
To the divine.
So, and a lot of, I think, often religions, they put the ritual and superficial things forward and forget about the destination.
Yeah.
And another quote is that yes, the I think it's a Buddhist, right? That also was in your book, that says the finger that's pointing to the moon is not the moon. And I like that too. I mean, this is a good quote. So, and I'm interested in the moon, not in really in the finger. But if the finger helps me to, to find the moon.
It's very similar to saying that we are on this earth with a physical body, And the physical body is important in the sense that it's like a boat carrying our spirit. So when you are on this earth, you have to feed your physical body, but you feed it with a way that is least harmful, which means you try to stay away from killing animals and be more vegetarian as much as you can. And then you have to see your body as only like a boat that take you from one shore to the other shore. It's important that you have the physical body because it will help you to sense the suffering, to know all the emotions and understand other people. But the body is not all. It is carrying the spirit.
And return to the finger. In Cao Dai, we call religion is Dao, the Tao, or the way. And the finger is the way, leading you to the truth. So Cao Dai is the way that leads you to the truth. And the truth is the supreme being, is the origin of human being. And the ultimate goal is to use the boat, this physical body, to go back to your origin, your divine origin.
But talking about the way, there are many, many ways, many paths that lead you to the spiritual or the truth. And all these paths are good. It's up to you to understand. And in Cao Dai, one of the teachings that summarize all the religion is that we have 5 different branches of ways. The first way is the way of humanity, taught like by Confucius, like, you live as a person, you live as a father, you live as a husband, you live as a citizen, you do the right thing as a person. That's the way of humanity. And then the next way is what they call the way of local spirits, or like in a community, there's a person that stands out and is a sage. It is believed that when he passed away, his spirit is still there, helping the community. And the third way is the way of saints. It's a way for sacrifice. You give yourself to help other people, like Mother Teresa or like Jesus Christ. And that involved in there Islam, Judaism, and Christianity in there. And then the way of immortals involve Lao Tzu, the Taoism. It believed that when you are evolved enough, then you don't need to eat anymore, but you still survive. You go gradually from eating toward not eating, but just, getting, so they are called the immortals. And the fifth way is the way of Buddha. The way Buddha teaches you to get rid of all the secular aspect of your life, desire, anger, and so on and so forth, and come back to the spirituality.
And that 5 ways is for everyone. Everyone can do the 5 ways, or any of them, or one of them, or 2 of them at the same time, in order to become united with the Supreme Being in yourself, which is the ultimate goal of a human being, to return to the origin. And when the Buddha is exactly like us, he has a family, and he left the family trying to find the truth to solve the suffering of human being. And after a period of meditation, he finds the truth is himself, and he becomes enlightened.
Do you have any questions, Sergey or Renee?
Maybe not question, another comment. I think another thing that impressed me in a good way about CaoDai, because I saw that you recognize there's two ways. There's an exoteric way and esoteric way. And exoteric, it's sort of like what commonly used, or like we commonly expect from a religion, you know, where you attend services, you kind of, you know, there's kind of like regular church way. And the second way, which, you know, equally is good, as I understand,
Yeah.
and that's actually what's I'm kind of leaning towards too. It's this esoteric way, is kind of self-cultivation, basically trying to realize things going deep inside yourself. And again, it's very humble and bold, I guess, at the same time, for religion to be, you know, open, inclusive, and
Very inclusive.
right. I think it's kind of we're talking about this today, about letting go. It's like you know, you do not get hung up on things. I mean, you kind of you know, being open to things and experiences.
To me, both words are equally important.
Right.
One cannot be the truth, or one cannot be successful without the other. Your spirit needs a body, a boat, in order to go back through your origin. And by using the body, the boat, you have the duty of a body. Your body is living in a family with your family, your wife, your parents. So you have the duty to fulfill the obligation toward your family. You live in a community. Your body needs to serve the community in order to pay back whatever the community has been giving you. And you fulfilling the duty of a citizen to your country. So that the way of humanity, the way of leading a body, and the body is used for your spirit to manifest all your good virtues, serving humanity, doing good to people, and to attain the peace in your heart, the calmness in your heart. And thanks to the body, when you serve the humanity, when you have compassion to people, you have peace and harmony in your heart, and you may find happiness inside yourself. We can say that this is a kind of unification with the supreme being in yourself.
We have a lot to share, and so maybe we should do it every so often, and
Definitely.
and get to the other aspect, like even that exoterism and esoterism need a session by itself to talk about and find more.
And we may approach like how CaoDai was founded, because it was founded by the communication between the Supreme Being Spirit and your spirit yourself. And there is a communication between God and humans. And this is another interesting aspect of CaoDai, which is the communication between God and human being. And everyone can go back and find God in ourselves.
So shall we end here for
Yes,
this session
okay.
today, and whenever
Thank
we'll-
you very much
we'll
for
come back.
being with us.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Renee, and thank you, Sergey.
Okay.